Sebastian, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you for being here.
2020 has been a transformational year for Endeavour, with the SEMAFO transaction propelling you into one of the top 15 largest gold producers in the world. It seems to be the beginning of a gold bull run. Gold equities are performing well. Investors have never had so many reasons to invest in the gold space. What are you saying to investors to distinguish yourselves? And why do you think you'll be outperforming your peers?
Good question. Well, I think that 2020, as you said, has been a transformational year for us, with the SEMAFO acquisition. What is interesting, looking, today, I mean, we are in September, so we're like, 2 months out of 3 down into Q3, and we're probably, 4 months down to year end. What's interesting, looking at where we stand today is we've made some very good progress. I think we are well on track, on delivering our guidance. We've made some, operational successes and progress. The integration with the SEMAFO asset is moving forward smoothly but surely, and it's probably ahead of, our schedules. When I look at some of the key operational drivers that we had, one of them was the restart of Boungou, by beginning of Q4, and we published last week some announcement around Boungou, which is progressing well, with the airstrip in place, with the new contract miner in place, and the security plan, which has been agreed now with the government, is currently being deployed. So we're well on track to get Boungou mining back up, I would say, by beginning of Q4, which has allowed us to target, I would say, the high end of guidance for Boungou. So this is very good news. I think Mana is also progressing well, and the rest of our mine sites, in particular ET and Houndé, with the addition of Kari Pump that will be mined in Q4, will be a very strong Q4. So overall, I would say, very pleased with the way, things are moving. We're expecting to have a strong Q3 in terms of cash flow. Q4 will be even higher given the grade that we're expecting in Q4 versus the rest of the year. And this should allow us to move to the second key objective of the year, which was being as close as net cash zero by the end of the year, so being fully deleveraged. And I think that if gold price stays where it is today, this is something which is potentially achievable, which will be extremely strong position for us to be in. Once we have this deleveraging done, we'll be able to move on to the next phase, which is going to be important for shareholders and investors, which is being able to put in place a dividend. And I think that for me, I see gold companies, gold mining companies, as any other companies. At the end, we need to demonstrate that this sector, this company is able to deliver on any other metrics that generalist funds are looking any sectors. And one of them is the ability to put in place a sustainable dividend, which basically demonstrate the robustness of your business. And I think we, a few quarters from being there, which is extremely pleasing when you look back at 2016 when I stepped in, and all this turnaround that we've been doing over the last 4 years between construction of ET, construction of Houndé, acquisition of SEMAFO, and so on. It's very pleasing to be in that position.
So how are you going to outperform your peers?
One other element is the NAV accretion on our business. So we extremely focus on continuing to increase the NAV of our business, in particular through the existing assets, by getting ET, Houndé, our core assets at 250,000 ounces per annum for the next 10 years, but also through exploration and growth, with assets such as Fetekro and the PEA that will be updating at 2.5 million ounces. So those are key elements to continue to increase the NAV accretion in our business. And overall, when you look at the catalyst over the next few months, between hitting guidance, strong increase in cash flow, strong and healthy balance sheet, as early as year-end, beginning of next year with the current gold price, initiating a dividend, increasing the NAV. Those I think are all key elements to ensure that we're able to outperform our sector and our peers.
Now you've obviously mentioned the fact that the SEMAFO assets which you acquired are performing well. What's the pipeline for the rest of the year?
Well, I think the key dates, for us and the key items and focus is really, as I mentioned earlier, the restart of the Boungou mine, which is expected beginning of Q4. We have also, keep working on the pipeline of future projects. So we've been, clearly saying and been repeating it. Saying that I want the company to be focused in 20 and 21 on maximizing cash flow. So that's really the priority in order to build up, a strong balance sheet. And if we're able to reach as early as end of the year or beginning of next year net cash, positive, then 21 will be really focused on building up this net cash position in order to strengthen our balance sheet. And the second aspect is to prepare the future with our next projects. We have an interesting pipeline with 4 potential projects, 2 of them well advanced with Kalana in Mali and Fetekro. And I must say that the exciting one right now is Fetekro. We did a first PEA on 1 million ounce, which was extremely attractive with close to $500 million of value on this PEA, and that was done with 1 million ounce of resources. We've just increased the resources from 1 to 2.5 million ounce. So looking forward to see what the updated PEA on Fetekro is going to show. But at current gold price, this is a massive increase in value that we're expecting from a project like this. So the objective in end of 20 and 21 is really to bring forward Kalana and Fetekro to DFS level, so that by beginning of 22 we can decide which one should go first for construction. So it's nice to have this, I would say, those multiple assets which are operating better and better progressively, and at the same time being able to bring later in the pipeline some new projects that we are preparing.
It must be very exciting to have all these prospects that are there. You mentioned quite a few times the high gold price. Might you be producing less profitable ounces as a result?
It's a fair question, and in fact we're getting more and more this question, how this high gold price environment is changing our way to operate or not. And I think the answer to that is the key metrics that we focus on, return on capital employed and discipline, financial approach to our operations, means that you don't want to dilute your profit by simply decreasing your cutoff grade and just for the sake of increasing the number of ounces that you're going to produce. So our focus right now is really to maintain this disciplined approach on maintaining for the portfolio all-in sustaining costs below 900. In fact, the target is to stay in this 850 all-in sustaining cost environment, so that we really maximize the cash flow from the ounces that we produce. And this also pushes forward into continuing to invest heavily in exploration in order to continue to discover ounces at a good grade that will continue to generate this level of cash that we're expecting from the ounces we produce. So the answer, Scott, is try to maintain very disciplined. We want to ensure that our operations keep the same disciplined approach, so that you don't control gold price. Gold price is high today, everyone is happy. A few years back, gold price was at $1,000, and a lot of companies were desperate. Some of them had to close down mines and so on. So I think we need to be very cautious of this gold price. The only thing we control is our cost, and I want the team to remain extremely focused on cost, so that whatever the gold price, we continue to generate strong and healthy cash flow.
Well, it sounds like exciting times ahead. Sebastian, thanks for your time today.